Yo, what's good? This is Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, and you're now watching Casey for L Wrestling Takes Show. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Casey for L Wrestling Takes back again to talk about what we just witnessed 9 minutes ago. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you right now, this is the first time in a while that I can officially say we got a fantastic week of wrestling and wrestling television story build up from top 8 to all the way to the finish for Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. It's been a long time coming. I've been waiting on us to get a full week of nonstop action, stuff that makes sense, storylines that matter. Collision is it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't give a care what people got to say. I know there's fools that hate. Unfortunately, the real haters are starting to turn into people who will call themselves AEW fans. There's a serious divide in the AEW fan base because they're the people who love Dynamite and hate Collision because of a certain somebody who then made his return. I don't know why. Listen, why the heck do you want one half of the company to fail? This is the same exact company that you are a fan of. You want one show to succeed while you want the other show to fail. Yet you call yourself an AEW fan. I don't get it. It's so dumb. It's like, man, imagine fans that say I'm just Raw and I hate SmackDown, or I'm SmackDown and I hate Raw. Now, when I say what I say, I'm talking about I deal with that later. When I say what I say, I'm talking about based on what they've been showing me. I'm not sitting up here saying it because I want Monday Night Raw to fail. It's a completely different scenario. But these are so-called AEW fans, and I know they're AEW fans because they sit up and shield for certain people like Moxley and Kenny Omega and all of them. It's unhealthy, ladies and gentlemen. It's very unhealthy, but hey, if they want to be that way, that's on them. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to discuss from that banger opening segment. I know certain cats in the IWC be complaining about AEW not doing this because they always jump right into the action. Listen, we need something that's going to carry us from the beginning of the show, and whatever happened in that segment is going to take place at the end of the show. So what does that tell people who are watching? Hey, You may not watch the whole show, but don't forget, whatever happens in this segment, come back. Come back for the main event, because everything that's happening in the first segment is going to tie into what's going on in the main event. That's exactly what they decided to do. Because I heard they said CM Punk and Ricky were going to kick off the show to discuss the aftermath of Ricky winning the Owen Hart Tournament Cup for the men's side, but he cheated to get it done. We were coming live from Newark, New Jersey. Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and he introduces the male winner of the Owen Hart Cup tournament, Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks got the pyro just like his homeboy Cody Rhodes. Came out there looking like, I'm telling you, man, Gucci'd up with all the crazy outfits, whatever he was wearing. That man's so full of himself, but I'm loving it, man. I'm telling you, Ricky Starks is coming in his own. He is that dude, ladies and gentlemen. He had a doggone Louis bag and everything. So he get into the doggone ring. Tony Schiavone talks to him. He greets him. He asks him everything about, the controversial situation and everything. And he says, now look, everybody in fans is like, you deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah, he sure did. But he said, look, who cares about what the heck that happened? All I know it matter is I look good. And what we're going to do, we're going to showcase why Absolute is here to stay. Next thing you know, as he's talking, CM Punk comes walking out there. I say, perfect. You ain't need to hear no, you ain't need to hear all that. He just came walking out to address that man. Got it to his face. He looked at him and said, look up, I ain't mad at you. Congratulations, you did what you had to do. But let me tell you something. Could you beat me fair and square without doing the foolishness that you did? So they looked like they was ready. Tony Schiavone was trying to hold them off. And, man, look. Oh, and by the way, the fans, mixed crowd reaction. Because you heard fans kind of cheering, then you heard fans kind of booing. So this is a weird situation that they got going on. But let me tell you something. They got to ride with this because this is what they rolling with. We know Punk can't go full-fledged heel yet. However, he just plays up to the crowd because CM Punk said, I don't care if you rather cheer me, boo me, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do what I need to do. And Ricky Stark's situation, he's playing a tweener right now. He isn't full-fledged heel, even though he was with, well, I'm gonna talk about when we get into the main event. But he's a tweener right now. He's acting heelish. He's doing heelish things. He's not a full-fledged heel yet. He's going there. Something's gonna have to do it because them fans are behind Ricky left and right. They are on his bandwagon. So they're addressing the situation about what they plan on doing against one another. Next thing you know, here comes Christian and Luchasaurus. I said, what do these cats want? What in the world? I say, oh my, look, they cooking. Christian started talking about what's really going on or why, how, because, okay, so here's the deal. Ricky Starks mentioned the fact that if you really bold enough, why don't you go ahead and put whatever's in that bag on the line? And then CM Punk said this. He said, well, let me tell certain cats like you and Max who thinks he's the real champion. He's not. I am the real AEW champion. They put the ticket out there. So CM Punk just professed that he is still the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That is going to come to a freaking collision sooner or later. Who's going to be back on the show next week? MJF. He's going to be in the main event next week. It's going to happen. So they're going to address that. So Christian was running around there talking about how neither one of them cats is on his level, even though he's not the champion. Luchasaurus is the champion. That's what somewhere down the line, Luchasaurus is going to have to realize that it's Christian trying to live his late glory days through him. He's not the champion, but he's running around here acting like he's the champion. So next thing you know, after they all said what they had to say, Darby Allin comes out of nowhere and straight disses all of them. And said, he technically didn't diss CM Punk. He dissed Ricky and he dissed Christian. Why? Because he's got a shot against Lucha at All Out. So they said, how about this? How about in the main event tonight, we have me, Punk, versus Ricky and Christian. I was like, you know what? This is what they decided to do. They told cats, just like how I said, if you're not, like I said, if you may not stay for the whole show, but here is a reason as to why you should come back to the main event. We are discussing what kind of issues we have with one another. we're going to bang it out at the end of the show. So if you're not watching the whole show, come back at the end of the show and watch us do work. I say, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Khan, we need segments like that all day. No matter if it's Dynamite, no matter if it's Rampant. We need segments like these all the time to tie things together. Why should we watch the whole show? Everything should ride. If it's on TV, it needs to make sense. I don't need people on TV just because. We need certain things to make sense. All four of those cats had a reason to be out there. It was perfect. Everybody said what they had to say. I mean, it was spot on. Christian said what he had to say. Ricky did what he did. Punk did what he did. Darby did what he did. I said, man, you can't ask for a better segment. You cannot. That was perfect. I said, that's what I need more of in wrestling. I need more of this. I need more of this in WWE. I need more of this in AEW. I need more of this in Impact. I need more of this no matter what company I'm looking at. This is how I get invested. You set up a segment. That segment transpires from the beginning all the way to the end. If you want it to be your main event, show me why it's the main event. Show me why it's the freaking main event. That's all I ask, man. This show right here, Collision, it's where it's at, man. It's where it's at. So that's the very first segment. So as they get ready, and I forgot to talk about it. Before the show started, everybody cut a promo on each other. Dante Martin, Action Andrade, the BCG, they all cut a promo on each other. The girls get an opportunity to say something. The Acclaim said something. House of Black said everybody had an opportunity to say something. Everybody. And then it ended with Ricky Starks pulling up in his car, talk about we getting ready to have a celebration of a lifetime. I'm like, man, go. Just go. Then the intro started. I mean, dude, I can't complain at all. I have nothing to say that's bad. Now, if there's anything I'm gonna talk about that I may have not may kind of like they kind of could have done without, I'll talk about it when I get there. But for the most part, man, I enjoyed everything that was on this show. Everything. So let's go ahead and break down the matchup. We got Action Andrade versus Bullet Club Gold, which is they forgot to mention Darius Martin. Action Andrade and Darius Martin versus Jay White and Juice Robinson. No, it was not like how last week's matchup was by far the greatest tag team match I've seen in a long time. However, everybody did what they was. Everybody got their spots in. Action got his spots in. Darius Martin got his spots in. Jay got his in. Juice got his in. Oh, and the returning Gun Boys were out there with him. So the Gun Boys, so the whole Bullet Club Gold was together. They all were together. This is pretty much Bullet Club Gold getting a win back because they didn't win the tag team titles. But to me, they're still the number one contenders. I know MJF and Adam Cole are going against FTR next week, but Bullet Club Gold to me feel like they are truly the next tag team champions. It just feels like that. I could be totally wrong, and they can go ahead and give it to Adam Cole and MJF. But what I witnessed watching this matchup, you knew that Jay and Juice are the leaders. They had to lead this match. Action and Darius are good, but they're not on Bullet Club Gold's level. They just not. I thought the matchup was a good match, a good tag team match, and obviously you know the heels had to go over. Jay White, Juice, Bullet Club Gold, after they won, beat the brick. Oh, and Action was the one that got pinned. Jay White did the switchblade, match over with. Darius got jumped, Action got jumped, and then the four of them standing on top of the ropes doing their little gun signs. I'm like, they still the group. I know they didn't win the tag team titles. I wanted them to win the tag team titles last week, but to me, they're still the group. They are still the freaking group, and that's all that matters. So we get on to that. So we get a backstage segment with Andrade, and he was being held up because he was trying to come in, and the security guard said, due to all the stuff that's been going on, you have been banned from the building. So you can no longer be out here today. You have the rest of the night off. And he was like, what? This is not fair. This is wrong. This just didn't feel right. But you know what? I'm going to abide by rules. I'm going to take my behind home. That's exactly what he did. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is going to play into what happens in the Trios titles match later on with House of Black versus The Acclaim and Daddy A. But obviously it did not. So they showed us a video package of everything that happened with Willow Nightingale, how she won the women's side of the Owen Hart tournament for the girls. And then one of the greatest matches, I'll tell you, her and Willow, they cook. Y'all just seen the little highlight. If you didn't see the pay-per-view, if you didn't see the main event, you just seen a highlight of what they did. That matchup was great. It was great. She came up short, Athena retained, but that matchup was excellent, ladies and gentlemen. It was great. So they was hyping it up, like saying that even though she lost, she's still her. She's still that lady. So they told us who was coming up, Mr. Redeemer, Miro. And as Miro came out there, fans went nuts. We had Mr. Straight Jacket Man. And I was like, man, TK had something with Nick Camarado. If they would have played into him being a crazy man. He has the straight jacket on. And the straight jacket is what conceals him. It what gets him to calm down. The moment that straight jacket comes off, he's a straight up animal. You can't deal with him. You literally had to put that straight jacket back on him to get under control. They could have had fun with that gimmick. You know how we always talk about AEW need characters and stuff. Him, I would have called him Straight Jacket Man because that's exactly what they had. He was supposed to be some kind of Straight Jacket Man. Then they turned him into some kind of disco guy. I'm like, no, the Straight Jacket Man could have been something. He could have been something. But you knew this was just basically a squash match for Miro, and that's what happened. Miro beat the brakes off of him. So now there's a lot of fans that's saying that because you didn't do the right thing with Swerve, Miro should be next in line to take that AEW International Championship off of you-know-who. OC. If that's the route we're going. I don't know that's the route that we're going. But, like I said, squash match, get Miro on TV. Because, like I said, anytime Miro on my TV, I'm a happy man. That's all that matters to me. So, we got a special video package of AEW Tag Team Champions FTR. The moment they arrive, to everything they've done, all the accolades they have done to hype them up, because later on we're going to get them having a talking segment with Tony Schiavone. We get the matchup, ladies and gentlemen. The best part of this whole matchup. Now listen, was it a good trios match? Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't the best. But I think, me personally, I know there's a lot of people that wasn't really feeling it. I think this was better than the match they had at was it Double or Nothing? Yeah. I think it was better than the match they had at Double or Nothing. I mean, right from the jump, House of Black come out there, Julia Hart, with her spooky looking self, they come out there. That's Brody Lee. And Malachi Black then shaved his beard and his mustache. Babyface Malachi Black. And Buddy Matthews. And then here come the House of Black. Platinum Max is a freaking fool, ladies and gentlemen. He is a fool through and through. With the little rhymes he had, and Buddy Matthews didn't even let him get the one line out. He had enough. As soon as he said, "Hey, buddy, you're looking a little nauseous," that man ran up and kicked him in the face in a matchup. They started ringing the bell as the match was already about to start. It was just chaos. It was chaos through and through. House of Black handled the business, did what they had to do, got the job done. No interference from anybody from the LFL because Andrade got kicked out. After the matchup, because Buddy Matthews was the one that got pinned, you saw all three members of the House of Black talking to him as if this was it or something. They shook his hand, they said some words, and the next thing you know, Billy Gunn, aka Daddy A, is taking his shoelaces out of his boots. He's unthreading them. He's taking the shoelaces out. And anytime you do something like that, that's a form of saying you're retiring. And last I checked, didn't Malachi Black do that to Cody right before he disappeared and went back to WWE land? Ladies and gentlemen, with that stuff going on, the emotions from the fans, the emotions from Anthony Bowens and Platinum Max look like they lost their best friend. And this alone has me intrigued because I don't know where this is going. I said, ladies and gentlemen, for the fools that say AEW don't know how to tell stories, they got me line and sinker. I am excited to see where this goes. I don't know. I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue what is in store for the Acclaim. But, I mean, they just look sad. Anthony Bowens, he really looks sad. Scissor me, daddy. But I mean, all that goofy stuff. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Now, word on the street is that man been wrestling. He been wrestling as long as I've been on the planet. I mean, that man been wrestling for a minute. He been wrestling for a long time. So if he's calling it a career, by all means, man. By all means. Hey. I mean, but the segment just after the matchup, it was the aftermath that got everybody intrigued because he was just sitting there and the fans was like, you still got it. You still got. They didn't want him to retire or nothing. I'm not saying it's a retirement because he didn't say anything. But normally, if this is you put your boots in the ring, that means this is it. It's a curtains call. But we don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We have absolutely no idea. But your man is here for it. I can't wait to see where this goes. Excellent. Absolutely excellent segment. I mean, great. Let's see. Make sure I ain't forget nothing. So they showed the video package of the Royal Rampage matchup where Darby and them won. They showed that, just to get people caught up on how Darby became the number one guy to face Luchasaurus at All Out. Just get people up to date, which, again, that's what it's all about. It's about video packages, getting people up to date. This is what we need. Like, the next time they have a pay-per-view, they need to go ahead and show a recap of what happens. That Dynamite following All In, it needs to be a video recap of what happened at All In for the people who did not see All In. Video recap. The one thing I'll give the E-Clowns, they do that perfectly. That's why I say that Bucktooth Beaver over there, whatever his name is, y'all know what I'm talking about, done. Phenomenal job. This is what we need AEW to do. After the pay-per-view, give everybody a video package of everything that happened. It's a recap of what the heck happened, because some people ain't gonna watch the pay-per-view. There's gonna be a lot of people that's not. So give people a video recap of what's gonna happen, or what, like the aftermath, or whatever you trying to present. Show a doggone video package. That's exactly what they did. So Tony Schiavone's in the ring. He introduces FTR. They come out there. Dax and Cash are talking up the crowd. Dax and them talking about what they finna do to MJF and Adam Cole. Cash said this. He said, look, Adam Cole, I don't know if you know, we know Max very well. We used to be in a little group called The Pinnacle, and we used to watch that man every day showcase exactly who he is. There's an old saying that says, the devil will go out his way to showcase why he doesn't exist. And he's doing it again with you. So I'm telling you, we don't trust him. We need to tell you, stop trusting him, because you know it's not going to end well. It's not. Then Dax got on the mic. He talked about how his dad gave him an old position when he was 15 years old. And he used to get messed up by some bullies and all that stuff. And he said that's MJF and Alex and Adam Cole. And he said, guess what we gonna do? We gonna whoop y'all behinds. We gonna give y'all an old-fashioned butt whoop. He said, y'all did all that comedy stuff. Y'all did all that dancing. Ain't gonna be no dancing going on over here. Now, one thing I could say I wish they kind of did, I kind of wish they had MJF and Adam Cole pop up on the screen. Because the one thing that was over doing this whole segment with them, the two words, double clothesline, they got double clothesline over. It would have been perfect if MJF and Adam Cole would have popped up on the screen and gave a little back and forth with him and said, whatever the heck you fools are talking about, if you really got the guts, pull up on Dynamite. If you got the guts to confront us one more time, pull up. I think this segment would have got over just a little bit more. Yeah, I get it. You wanted FTR to have their moment. MJF and Adam Cole are going to have theirs on Dynamite, but since you're tying both shows together, I think it would have made more sense for MJF and Adam Cole to pop up on the screen. They didn't really have to physically be there, but they could have popped up on the screen, and respond to everything they just said and say, hey, you fools claim that we're not going to beat you. All right, how about this? We're going to have an opportunity to have our little comeback, but if y'all got enough guts, pull up to Dynamite. If you got enough guts, pull up to freaking Dynamite. The whole segment would be so matchup for main event for next week. I mean, I know the matchup is going to be great, but you just put a little bit more for effort. Like I said, if I'm doing it, people nitpicking or whatever, just put a little bit more effort into it, because I'm already psyched for the matchup. But just, you want to give it a little bit more. And the fact the double clothesline was over, it would have been perfect to have them pop up on the screen or something. If you didn't want them to physically be out there with them, you could have had them easily pop up on the screen, Tony Khan. It ain't that difficult. It's not. But like I said, to each his own. This is how Tony Khan wanted to do it. He wanted Cash and Dax to get their little spew, say what they had to say or whatever. But like I said, it is what it is. So that's that. So they gave us a video package of Blood and Guts. I thought Blood and Guts was good. They did what they had to say. Very insane match. So we get if you want to say, moving up in the ranks. I was running around here saying this was the number one contendership match, but it obviously was just to move up in the ranks. So it looked like the ranking system is back for the women. We got Sky Blue versus Taya Valkyrie, two of my favorite women in this matchup. I was rooting for Sky Blue, but she didn't go over. And Taya Valkyrie did work. Sky Blue did work. I said Sky Blue was going to get the victory. She didn't. She did not get the victory, ladies and gentlemen. She did not get the victory. Taya Valkyrie won. Then she said some stuff about Miss DMD. Since DMD is the so-called face of the company, and I'm trying to get back into the title contendership material, how about I see you next week on Dynamite, Miss Britt Baker? So I'm going to say this like this. The delivery kind of was subpar. Could have been a little bit better, but I got what she was trying to say. She knows that Britt is the number one girl. Even though Taya did kind of win this match, and they did claim that whoever won this moves up in the rankings, and therefore you could say it's considered the number one contender, but Britt Baker is still the number one girl, so it makes all the sense. So if Taya wants to get another victory to add on so that she can get an opportunity or another shot at Tony, she got to beat the number one girl. That just makes perfect sense, right? People want the women to make sense. People want the women's situation to be real. They want people to be crying, oh, the women ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing this. I'm like, TK and them, I say this, at least he's trying. Yeah, he could do a whole lot better because they should be so much further along. They shouldn't be down in the dumps where they are. They should be so much further along. But Valkyrie won. She did what she had to do. Sky Blue. My girl lost again, but it is what it is on that, so if it had to be to my other girl, fine. It is what it is on that. Let's see. So they talked about a whole lot of stuff happening from there, and they talked about stuff that's going to happen on Dynamite and all this and everything. So we get to the main event. CM Punk and Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks and Christian. Man, all four of these cats cooked storyline first right off the jump. Ricky and Christian were acting a fool. Neither one of them wanted to get in there with CM Punk. They both was taking all day. He's like, no, man, you get in there. He said, no, man, you get in there. He's like, no, bro, you get your tail in there. He's like, no, man, you get your tail in there. You get in there. They took all day, and I think Paul had this match. I forgot who had it. My man got all the way down to 9. Ricky jumped his tail on in there. Him and CM Punk going, trying to do a little something. Then he went and got Christian in there. Then CM Punk got Darby in there. And all was off to the fences. I mean, these cats are just beating the snot out of each other. And I'm watching this and I say, okay, now in my mind, this is what I'm saying. We got Darby versus Swerve again. Swerve ain't beat Darby he ain't beat him. And technically, Darby really shouldn't be getting pinned. He shouldn't. It's almost like neither one of these cats should be getting pinned. Even with Christian, who is not the champion, but he claims to be the champion. Somebody had to take the pinfall. With all the shenanigans going on, I mean, there was this one particular spot. Darby caught himself trying to jump out there and take out Christian. Lucha just jumped right in front of him. He jumped right in front. I mean, just listen. Everybody played the role. And how the heck? Look here, ladies and gentlemen, your main man, Scorpion Sky, was sitting up top watching, and he has been observing everything that Lucha and them has been doing. He's been observing things and been observing. And now during this matchup, the crowd was acting a complete fool. Heck, somebody even had it said a sign that said John Cena is a con artist. You had some clown with a WWE and World Heavyweight Championship pull up. You had one section of the show was trying to get over while the other fans were telling them to shut the F up. I mean, they was wilding. The crowd was so wishy-washy, it didn't even make no sense, but they made freaking noise. New Jersey was crazy. The crowd was insane. I mean, I'm watching this stuff, and I said, wow, the atmosphere is nuts. Fans are going crazy. They don't know who to cheer for. They don't know who to boo. I'm like, dog, it's crazy. It is crazy. And Punk, man, look, that man, all he had to do was put some weight on. That's what it feel like, because he came back. And look, did he have a couple of mismatches of certain things where he kind of missed the mark at? Sure. But you understand where he is, but I got to give him props. The fact he's going in here and he's taking these bumps and he's jumping and he's doing all these things. I told you, the only thing I want for this dude is to go into a match and come out healthy. That's all that matters to me. I just want him to be as healthy as he can be. I don't want him getting hurt. I don't want none of that stuff, because I'm telling you, just him being back just gives this company a boost. I know the man has issues and certain things with certain people don't like, and I get all that, but it's just something that he brings. It's just him being in that atmosphere just helps this company along the way. It just does, ladies and gentlemen. Whether people want to receive that or not, whether certain Moxley fans want to receive that or not, it helps the company out. It just does. He helps the company being there. And him getting in there, helping out Darby, hanging out with Ricky, hanging out with Christian, doing what they got to do. I mean, I can't ask for nothing better. I just can't. And with all the foolishness going on, CM Punk got knocked out the ring. Darby in there. Christian knocked out. Darby in there with Ricky Starks. Guess what Ricky did? Just like before. Ricky used the ropes and got the victory. Man, they are really pushing Ricky. Now, I've seen mixed fan reaction online. Some fans say he should be pushed as a babyface. Other fans say he should be pushed as a heel. I look at this. It don't really matter to me, because Ricky gonna get over regardless. He's over like a mug right now. The boy is over. And the way how they pushing this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you right now. I don't think and by the way, FTR did mention we still have unfinished business with the Young Bucks. They mentioned their names. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand what we're going to get down the road? I don't think we're going to get it going in the All In. I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you right now, I believe what's going to transpire, since CM Punk has lost twice to Ricky. He lost to him last week and he lost to him in a tag team match. I think because of all of that, now because Ricky done beat him twice and he said that he's the real champion, not Max, who's playing champion, I personally believe this is what's going to happen. Ricky going to say, I done beat your behind twice. You claim you the champion, correct? Check this out. You say Max is the so-called fake champion, correct? Check this out. We all know it's going to come down to MJF and Adam Cole at All In. What if we get CM Punk versus Ricky at All In? The winner of that matchup is the unofficial AEW champion, and we get the champion versus championship match going into All Out. So whoever wins between MJF and Adam Cole will get the winner of CM Punk and Ricky Starks. It ties everything together. Remember, we got 2 back-to-back pay-per-views. All In and All Out must be synced in. It must be synced. If you want your shows to matter, synced in. We're not doing CM Punk and Kenny Omega and them right now. We're gonna do that for another show. We're not doing that right now. We ain't. That's somewhere down the line. We're gonna do Ricky versus CM Punk, and I think what they need to do, they need to set that matchup coming up next week. CM Punk needs to call Ricky out and say, no, Ricky needs to call CM Punk out and say, I done beat your behind twice, back to back. You claim you the champion, so therefore I beat you twice, so therefore I'm owed a so-called unofficial championship shot. CM Punk said, no, you technically you did. You done cheated twice. But you know what? Since I'm in a given mood, yeah, I don't mind whipping your behind at All In. I don't mind. And if you beat me for the championship, so be it. But see, this is where MJF and them need to get involved. This is where they need, see, everything needs to tie in. Dynamite and Collision, for so many people who thought it was a hard split, it's not really a hard split. This is how you tie both shows together. Yes, you got certain people who want to be on Collision. Yes, you got certain people who want to be on Dynamite. But this is how we bring the shows together, because both shows are going to play a huge role going into both pay-per-views. That's it. This is, ladies and gentlemen, when I walk away from wrestling shows, I want to sit there and I want to have a look on my face as in I got my attention's worth, if that makes any sense to what I just said. I didn't waste my time. I didn't waste 2 hours of my time. I could have been doing some other stuff. What I got tonight is excellent. I mean, yeah, certain people was crying about certain things or whatever. And you know what? If you feel that way, that's on you. But I'm telling you, what I witnessed tonight was great. And it makes me want to come back for more. Vikingo and them finna be on the show next week. Cool. Andrade and Buddy Matthews are going to be in the ladder match for the doggone mask. Cool. So that tells me that LFL needs to be in his corner. They need to return. And then they return, and guess what? We got the matchup. We set up the match. We set up LFL versus House of Black for the Trios Championships. And we're going to do that matchup. We do it all out. We do it all out. We do it all out. Because I want House of Black to keep going, keep pushing the storyline. Don't do it at all in. Do it at all out. Or this is what you do. You get another trios group and you have them go against LFL at all in. And whoever wins between them, get them at all out. It's tie the pay-per-views together. That's it. If I can get that out of a freaking wrestling show, you look, I'm a happy man. That's it. Stories matter, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we can have all the great wrestling. We can have all that in the world. Storylines and character development. I said this in my review for SmackDown and Rampage. Storylines and character development are the number one and number two things about wrestling. You want fools to watch a product? Shout out to AEW. 953. 953 for Dynamite. Not quite 1 million yet, but it's a boost. It's a heavy boost from the previous week, because the previous week was like 830. And they went all the way from 830 to 953. Kudos to them. Why? The show was worth watching. I ain't really got nothing else to say, ladies and gentlemen. I've been on here almost about 40-some minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it's at. This is how you do. This is how you do, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear nobody in my comment section talk about shilling. They ain't got nothing to do with no shilling. This is how you do it. Grade A TV, ladies and gentlemen. Keep people tuned in. Get people to understand, like, yo, I got to come back. I got to come back. That's it. When you get fools saying they want to come back and tune in, you doing what you got to do. Great. We 6 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. 6 freaking weeks away. 6 weeks. 5 weeks away from All In. 6 weeks away from All Out. Let's go. Let's go. We ain't got no more time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the channel, y'all know what to do. Feel free to subscribe. Hey, hit that like button. Leave a freaking comment section. Tell me what you thought about the show. Are you excited about things moving forward? If you're not, tell me why you're not. I'll make sure I try to get back at you. This your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life Wrestling It Takes. I'll talk to y'all cats later. Holla at your boy.